Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today I'm going to show you something a little different from what I normally do. Still paper crafting, still stamping, and we're using die cuts. But today I want to make a little package to put these chocolates in that I get from Aldi. I love dark chocolate, and I feel like I have found treasure at Aldi. And I realized yesterday when I had a friend over that not everybody knows about these, so I'm spreading the word. So you can get these at our Aldi for $2 each. And in each one of these, you get, I think, 5 little chocolate bars. And they are just perfect for snacking. Let's see if I can get that the right way. There we go. So, after visiting with my friend, I realized, trying to find my dies here, that the mini pocket envelope dies, they look like this, and they make a little, this one here is the largest one, and it makes a little pocket envelope. And they're fun to put on the front of cards or inside a card, and you can put gift cards and things in them, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun if one of these chocolate bars would fit inside that? And they do perfectly. So this week I've been using the Nothing's Better Than stamp set, and I'm going to keep using that along with the Love You More Than dies, and here's the stamp set, to make a fun, fast little pocket envelope for this candy bar. I am also going to be heat embossing with the gold embossing powder, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus just because I like it. It makes it fast and easy, and it makes it easy to replicate a project. So this is something I think I'll probably make more than one of, and having it set up on my Stamparatus will make it really quick to make multiples very fast. So let me flip the camera around, well, switch cameras, there we go, and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so I'm only using Versamark ink and my Early Espresso ink pad to do this. I'm going to start with a sweet sorbet, just a scrap of cardstock. And from the mini pocket envelope, I'm going to be using this little die here. I have already, because I didn't want to bring my bigger stamp cut and emboss machine over here, I went ahead and used the pocket envelope die to cut out a piece of the 2022 to 2024 in color designer series paper. So this is a 6x6 piece of paper. Let's see if you can see the whole thing. And I used this die to cut it out, only it goes like this. And so then in a minute we can fold this piece up and we'll make our pocket out of it. I'm really excited about this one. So I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. I'm always excited about them, but sometimes I just get a little overly excited maybe. Alright, so let's run this through. I'm also excited because if you watched my last video, you know that both of my kids have moved out. They're one's at college and one's doing a gap year program. So they both moved out last week, but they're both home today because they had dentist appointments. So I'm in a really good mood having my kiddos home again. So baby steps. We're baby stepping our way to empty nest, I guess. But they're both going to be going back very soon. Okay, so you do want to keep this part. And get your Stamparatus. Cleaning up all my pieces. So, we are going to be using both plates. But first, let's just use this one. So to make sure that everything is straight, I'm going to use the grid lines. So I'm putting this bottom line right underneath this darker line. And then I'm going to use my magnets to hold this up. And you don't have to have the Stamparatus to do this. These are photopolymer stamps, so you can see through them and position your stuff pretty easily. But I just find it, like I said, easier to repeat the process using the Stamparatus. I like being able to set it up once and just go, go, go. Okay, so we're going to start with, today is I'm just going to line the bottom of it up using this line here. And then I'm going to do this one up here. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to bring my chocolate in. I'm not putting it down yet. I just want to make sure that there's going to be enough room. That looks great. Okay. So I'm going to use this plate to pick these up, and I do have my foam pad underneath that comes with the Stamparatus. Since I'm using photopolymer, it lifts it up better. I'm going to use that Early Espresso ink pad. Just making sure I've got them where I want them. So then I can place this die cut piece right here in the center. It's okay that I lifted it up. Okay, so that is pretty perfect. So now I can put this back down, grab that chocolate, and put it where I want it to go. And the trick is to make sure you've got the C all the way on your cardstock. And the E. That looks good, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to pick that up with this top one. And if you want to make sure, look, see, flipping it over, I can see that my C is very close to the edge, and so is my E. But I think we're good. Okay, so I'm putting this back down again. And I'm going to get my embossing buddy. Remember, you can find these in the mini catalog. Can't drop this top plate because it keeps hitting my camera, making things a little awkward. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Versamark and just ink up that chocolate stamp. So now I'm going to get my gold embossing powder and I'm going to heat emboss this chocolate. In the mini catalog, you'll also find some tweezers that you can use to hold small pieces of cardstock while you're embossing, and it comes with part of a kit when you get your embossing buddy and a little tray to put it in to pour the embossing powder over. It's all very handy stuff. Here we go, let's emboss. Love watching that magic happen. Okay, so that piece is ready to go. We are going to emboss again in just a minute. I'm first going to get a scrap of basic white. That's going to fit great on there, I think. Let me get the top piece. Oh yeah, looks good. So I'm going to use that Early Espresso again. And I'm going to stamp my chocolates. Okay, now I'm going to get that Versamark again. I'm going to let this, you know what, I'm going to hit it with my heat tool. Normally I would just let it dry a little bit, but I want to make sure it's really dry. And then I'm going to use my embossing buddy over it. Here we go. I just didn't want anything to stick to that chocolate or the espresso, and I didn't want to smear that ink at all. Alright, so now I'm going to do the outline, and I'm going to use the Versamark again. And then, and since it's clear, like I said, I can see right over it. I don't need to use the Stamparatus for this one. There we go. And then I'm going to use that gold embossing powder again and emboss this in gold as well. You want to make sure your first ink is really dry. Otherwise, you might have little bits of gold sticking to that ink too, and it won't look as sharp and as nice. Add just a little bit more. So something else you get in that kit for embossing, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Embossing Additions. I'll put that up on the screen. But you also get a paintbrush that will help. And I have one, and I don't have it right here at my desk. I usually do all my embossing over on my counter, unless I'm making a video. And I forget to get all the parts and pieces. Okay, let's emboss this one. Isn't that fun? I love heat embossing. Okay, so now I'm going to get my die cut, or my die, and cut that out. I love how everything coordinates. So this is the only die that I'm using from Love You More Than dies today. So if you don't have the dies, I don't think it would be too much to fussy cut around this. It would be a little time consuming, but not too bad. But the dies just make it so much easier. And then you have them to do lots of other fun things with. Okay, so now it's time to put all of this together. Okay, so I'm going to start with a roll of tear and tape. But before I do that, let's go ahead and crease the edges on this little pocket. Make sure it's lined up nicely. And give that a good crease. I'm going to crease that one. And I'm going to crease this one. So this piece of paper, Designer Series paper, is Starry Sky and Orchid Opulence. Just going to get a little piece of tear and tape and put it right here. It's okay that it's covering a little bit of the back here as well as the flap. It's just going to fold right over. And then I'm going to do it again on this side. I'm going to go ahead and get another tiny little piece, tinier than that, there we go, to put right here on this end as well. My first piece just wasn't quite long enough. Okay, I'm going to fold that over. Then I'm going to take my twine. This is also from the 2022 to 2024 in color twine. I'm going to wrap it around. Let's go 3 times. So then I'm just going to tie it in a double knot right here on the edge. Now that I've tied it once, I'm actually going to bring it under all of that again and tie my second knot. Oh, Sometimes I forget to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Just give it a little trim. Then I'm going to use my dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to put one at the top right corner and then one at the bottom left corner. And you know what? That would probably be sufficient. I have no idea why my camera sometimes goes white like that. I just looked up, my whole screen was white. That was weird. Okay, so let's put that right over the ribbon. Make sure the chocolate's going to fit in there the way I have this done, and it does. Isn't that perfect? And these colors are so great with that chocolate bar. So that's the dark sea salt caramel. I don't know if you noticed, but all the chocolate I picked up is dark chocolate because I am a major fan of dark chocolate. It is my all-time favorite. But there's also milk chocolate. It's not all dark chocolate. I'm going to put a little dab of glue in this top bit here. Then I'm going to put this right over that. And isn't that so cute? Wouldn't this be fun and so fast to put together to hand out to people just going about your daily day? And then if you wanted to, I think it's big enough that you can slip a business card even in the back, or maybe not a business card, maybe just a card saying, hey, I'm thinking about you today, hope it gets better. That's totally up to you, but let me know what you think about this one, and also let me know what kind of chocolate you like. Do you like milk chocolate? Do you like dark chocolate? Do you not like chocolate at all? Because that's just sad. And what really breaks my heart is when people are allergic to chocolate. That just doesn't seem fair. So I hope you like this. I hope you're having a great week. I hope your weekend is looking wonderful. And if you need to order any of the supplies to make this project, you can see that list of everything that I used either on my blog or in the description for this video. And if you would like to place an order with me, you can do that online at any time. And if you are placing an order in August, be sure to use the host code in the top right hand corner for any order under $150. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping.